Hey, Wagwan fam. So you seen the title? You know what's going on. Yeah, that's what we're gonna get into. Now, it's one thing to be broke, like to actually like not have that much money, but it's another thing to have negative money. You know, you're literally in debt. Like your net worth is like trash.
Know your fucking place, trash.
I've had my fair of situations where my bank account was in a negative. That means if the item was free, I still wouldn't be able to afford it. Shout out to Louis C.K. That was his joke. But yeah, so we're gonna get into it. It literally says, I'm 29 years old with nearly $1 million in debt. I'm sure a decent amount of that got to be like student loans, maybe probably a doctor, probably a lawyer, engineer, maybe. That's my hypothesis. And then maybe a couple car notes, car payments here and there, and a little bit of credit card. But we're gonna get into it. No long talk, gonna get straight to it. Subscribe to the channel, it's free. What you get on the channel is a daily dose of edutainment. You'll be left laughing, you'll be entertained, but most importantly, you will learn something. It's simple, you know what I'm saying? Let's go. Dave Ramsey, the man himself.
Channing is with us in Washington, D.C. Hi, Channing. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Thank you for having me.
Sure. What's up?
So I live in D.C. I just recently got married about 3 months ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And my husband and I have really decided we need to be really focused on the same page about our finances. We actually have our first class of financial peace this evening.
Oh, cool.
Ideally, you should have been on the same page financially before you got married. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want to know how much debt I'm not saying debt should be the deciding factor about whether or not you should marry somebody, but how much debt they have, the credit card, student loans, stuff like that, is an important factor to know, like what you're getting yourself into and how much you need to cut down on your lifestyle in order to get to the same level of like financial independence or achieve your financial goals, right? So give it time. Honestly, don't let nobody rush you to marriage, and don't be in a rush to get married. Even if you're a woman, give it like at least three years plus to be together before you even like take it to that next step. You want to be able to see this person's spending habits, behavior, how they are when they're mad, how they are when they're angry. You want to be in a situation where you're way past the honeymoon phase before you even get into a relationship. Into a relationship, you should 6 months to a year. Marriage, 3 years plus. Straight up.
But together, we have probably just under $1 million in debt.
Oh, it's together.
And we want to know how to get debt-free without filing bankruptcy.
Okay. How much of that is a mortgage?
The mortgage, about $210,000.
Okay.
So you have $600,000 in what?
$335,000 is about in student loans. We both have advanced degrees, and then the rest is really credit cards and personal loans.
So you have $300,000 of credit cards and personal loans?
We have about $335,000 student loans and about $136,000 in credit cards, $44,000 personal loans, and $35,000 car loans.
Okay. How old are you all?
I'm 29.
Okay. So what in the world?
So, yeah.
I mean, are you both on this, or is this just one of you that's completely lost your mind?
Well, I have the majority of the student loans, and he has the majority of the credit cards. My credit card debt is not great.
Okay,
it's
so
about
why does he at 29 years old run up $100,000 in credit card debt?
Well, he's 32, but I think it's one of those things where just making really poor financial decisions, thinking be able to pay it down as you go, and then it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And
okay, so you both have advanced degrees. What are your degrees in?
We do. So I have a degree, both of our advanced degrees. No, he has an MBA, and I have an advanced degree in policy. I work in the government, and we actually both do now at this point, actually.
Okay, so your household income is what?
Our household income is about $230.
Okay.
That's not
All
bad.
right.
The bigger your shovel, the bigger your income, the more you can, Actually, what's funny is like the more income you have, actually the harder it is to, depending on how like greedy you are, harder it is to actually live below. Because you're making so much, but to live on like ramen noodles and rice and beans and rice, it takes a certain level of like actual financial commitment to live below your means. Honestly, if you want to always have money, if you're making 10K, live as if you're making 5K. Live as if you're making 6K. Or if you're making 5K, live as if you're making 2 or 3K. And you'll always have enough money just in the back burner. The emergency fund will be good. If you decide to quit to work on your business, or you get fired, you'll always be good, right? But don't be living paycheck to paycheck. Don't live above your financial capabilities. And don't let a girl or a guy force you to break your budget just because of love, okay? Mind over heart.
Is there recognition on both of your parts how absurd this situation is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there is.
Right.
So I think we're both a bit scared and want to do anything we can to avoid.
Okay, great. Then I'm on your team. I can skip that step. Okay, good. Okay, well, you're scared, and you should be. You're disgusted, and you should be.
We are.
You're in the early stages of being sick and tired, and you should be. So,
Yeah.
Here's the thing: you guys have been living at across the board, from your education choices to your car purchases to your whatever. You've been living at about 10x where you're going to get to live for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, that's true.
So I'm getting ready to destroy your life as you know it. Because your lifestyle is considerably above your extremely good income.
Yeah.
And has been for a period of time. And so you've gotten used to spending like you're in Congress.
Right.
This is going to be very emotional for y'all.
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
And you're going to have to look at it through that lens and through a spiritual lens, or you're not going to make it. You're going to have to not care what anyone thinks, including each other, because you're not going to spend any money on anything ever for the next 3 years. Like, you've been let's pretend you're making $210, and I know you just got married, but let's pretend you've been doing this as a couple as you went along. You've been making $210, spending $310. I'm getting ready to put you on 30.
Okay.
You're not going to see the inside of a restaurant unless it's your extra job, where you're waiting on some of the people you work with during the day.
Okay.
This is how humbling this is going to be.
Quite.
It's going to crush a lot of crap in your soul that caused you to do this. So the bad news is it's going to be really rough. The good news is it's going to be great for you guys relationally, spiritually, and financially. But you're not going to make the financial unless you make the relational and the spiritual move, because I know you guys because I was you guys. This is exactly what I did. It's exactly what I did in my 20s. I bought and purchased a lifestyle that was 5 to 10x what I had.
Yeah.
And it was all because of crap inside of me that caused me to do that.
Right.
And all of that has to be destroyed to fix it.
Absolutely.
Is this making any sense, or is this too brutal?
No, it's making a lot of sense, and it's brutal.
I'm warning you what's coming, okay? This is not a math problem. The math problem is the symptom. The problem is what's going on inside of you guys. So the great news is you're very smart people. And if you will apply that intellect to solving this problem as if it were a policy problem or a business problem, you can solve the problem. But the lens by which the problem will be solved is through spiritual contentment. Godliness with contentment is great gain. Translation, you're going to pull up at a stoplight driving a piece of crap car next to people that have an income a fourth of yours with a nicer car than yours.
Right, right.
And you're not going to care. That's going to be the cool part.
Okay.
You're going to reach the point you don't care what other people think. And that might be a fair journey for you or him. I don't know which one it is, but some of you guys you've been purchasing a lot of stuff for a lot of reasons that are going to change.
Yep.
This is why you don't envy nobody, man. Tell me how to be making 200K, and $1 million in debt. Everything you see on Instagram, anything you see someone like showing you from their point of view, you don't know the full story. You don't know the full situation. Just worry about yourself. Worry about this meme right here. It encapsulates everything.
Worry about yourself, worry about your career, worry about your life, worry about being creative, worry about growing, worry about being young, worry about being healthy, bitch. You're perfect.
Worry about yourself, worry about your grind, and don't focus on anybody else. Don't try and compare your situation, your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 30. Inspiration, sure, but like comparison, just compare yourself to how you were before and try and improve on that. Straight up.
They have to.
Yeah, they have to, because you're on a suicide mission right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
His credit cards are actually bundled with one of those like debt relief programs where we put a pot of money with them and then they negotiate on your behalf. So we're not even paying on the bulk $124,000 of the credit cards right now.
Yeah, you're going to probably have to pull out of that. I don't know how quickly, but the problem with those people is they don't follow through, and they administratively are really, really, really pitiful. They're incompetent. And so you're going to find they don't, the concept of what they pitched you is not completely bad, but you're going to find their follow through it will make your bones chill. So you're probably going to pull back out of those. But then we're just going to list these debts smallest to largest. What's the home worth?
What's the home life, you said?
No, what is your home worth?
Oh, my home worth. Oh, I think that, let's see, according to Zillow, the home is worth about $300,000.
Okay, so you have a little bit of equity there, but not enough.
Yeah,
Not enough to save you. So I always sell the home as the last resort unless it's the problem, and it's not the problem here.
Okay.
Ratio-wise, it's nothing compared to this other stuff. I mean, you have $330,000 in student loan debt, $200,000 on your house.
Right.
It's not the problem, and the credit cards are almost as much as a stinking house. So it's not the problem. So I don't think we got to sell it. You probably may need to sell a car.
Yeah.
Not going to rush to do that. The big thing is just this shock to the system of your all's lifestyle, where you go from really living what we call in Tennessee high on the hog to you're going to be living beans and rice and beans. Your friends are going to think you've lost your mind, and your mother's going to think you need counseling.
Yeah, and we live with my parents now. After we got married, they offered us to stay with them to help us, with transitioning to new life, which has definitely been helpful. Renting out the
who's
condo.
living in your house?
So I put my condo up for rent when I got engaged because I knew I wanted to save money for the wedding before we got married. So I had a renter in there the last year, actually looking for another renter. Her lease ends in a month.
Oh, well, just sell it then. I thought you lived in it.
No, we don't live in it.
Oh, just sell it and put the $90,000 on your debt snowball. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need it. You're not going to move in it. You don't need to own it.
No, we're never going to live in it. It was one of those.
Yeah.
That was my first baby.
That's okay.
So now
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone though. You need the $90,000 to get a jump start on the rest of this. So that just got rid of a third of your deal.
Okay.
Right. So we're getting started. But did you feel that ouchie? I just pinched you. Did you feel the pinch? Oh, Dave's pinching me.
Yeah. When you buy stuff, who you trying to impress? All these luxury brands and shit like Gucci, Balenciaga. For me personally, when I had credit card issues, I literally decided not to renew my lease and be homeless for a bit, because I just thought, because my income wasn't high enough to continue for it to make sense to continuously pay my lease while also trying to pay down the debt. So I just downsized. My way of downsizing was selling my shit, living in a homeless shelter for a while, and using that money to pay down all the debt, all the credit card debt that I had. So your version of downsizing may be to go back to your parents' house, live on the couch with your friend for a bit, do what you gotta do to get to where you want to get to. You know what I'm saying? But let this be a lesson. Everybody that's making bank is really bank. The question isn't how much money are you making. The question is, what is your net worth? Your assets minus your liabilities. Are you in the positive or are you in the negative? You know what I'm saying? But God bless, much love, peace, and joy. Namaste. And always remember, doesn't feed you, don't water it. And too much of any good thing is good for nothing. All right, bruv, I'm gonna see you in the next installment of Edutainment. Deuces.